Welcome back, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, share, leave a comment. Very, very important.
I totally agree. You see, when Tohaze tried to conquer them and actually succeeded, they tried to undermine him with their beautiful women, and so crossbreeding and mixing.
Me, I heard that in the olden days, the Ashantis were like very short and I think very dark as well. So
Okay, so this is a video from Voice Network, and it is about, it says Ghanaian tribes confirm and is approved truths and myths about them. And as a Ghanaian, if you are a Ghanaian, you know the truths. Should I put it as truths? Like some things that we say when somebody, like, about tribes, about other tribes, about your own tribe, about other tribes as well. And I think that this video is going to be very, very interesting. Some I do know about, especially, no, not do know. No, it's like it's a fact. But then growing up, heard about them. So it's kind of like, I do believe that that is what it is. And then with this first question, it says the Northerners are responsible for the tall people in Asante. And yes, heard that one. And it's like if a typical Asante man isn't tall, guys, we've heard that and we've seen that. I mean, if you see somebody who is like short, and then the person is an Asante, and then you ask the person that, look, is your mom an Asante? Is your dad an Asante? Like both parents from their own families. There's nothing like a mixed tribe in there. It's like typical Asante. So yes, most Asantes that I know of, typical Asantes, they are short. I'm not saying this though. Movies are how many Asantes that I know, like typical Asantes that I know. Well, the typical Asante that I know, he is short. He is short.
and they have conquered the north, so they had slaves. No offense, so they had slaves. So then they started sleeping with the slaves.
The Dogos from the north who came to
settle
have,
there.
yeah, and impregnated some of the women there, gave them that balance. So, yeah.
Okay, according to what the Asante Hine said, he said there was a point in time in Ashanti history whereby they had to marry off a princess of Ashanti to a northern prince. And so there was this cross-breed, for lack of better word.
Of course, they get tall people because a typical Ashanti man is not tall.
Ashantis are short.
Where did that come from?
Okay, this says Okofano shares global women with promiscuity. Well, I haven't met Krobo women or people from that tribe, so I can't really say for sure. But then it is something that we've heard. It is something. It is something that some musicians in Ghana use in their lyrics. But then to actually say that yes, that is what it is, I don't know. I can't. I don't really know.
How true that is?
I also don't know how true that is, but people say that Kobo girls are, yeah, they are promiscuous, but I don't know anything.
I haven't experienced that yet.
I don't know what type of furniture she went to do there.
I disagree because I know a couple of Kroba women who are not promiscuous at all. But yes, I can understand where the sentiment is coming from because I know a lot of other Kroba women who are also very promiscuous. But it's the same thing. It cuts across all tribes. You find places where people are like very promiscuous and others are really not that promiscuous. I think it's more about nature against nature. It's not something that they've been cursed with. It's just depends on the environment you grow in.
I'm a Krobo woman, and I actually take a lot of pride in that. My Twitter handle says that I don't believe that because from what I've heard, he was taking his bath and some two Kobo ladies saw him, made fun of him, and he cursed them. Who was there to come and tell the story if it was only two Kobo women? Like, think about it, right? And I mean, they are poor, they answer, and that's okay. We don't mind.
I would want to pick too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. a famous person is in town. The person is African. How famous are you?
From what I have experienced, I think to a certain degree it is true because the Kubo people that I have come into contact with, sorry to say this, but are very promiscuous.
Okay.
Yes. I don't.
Wait, sorry, you mean promiscuous as in they sleep around or they
yeah.
just like sex and they are good at it?
I think it's both. They like sex and they are good at it, and they also like sleeping around. Yes.
Wait. What do you mean by the Kobo women that you have encountered? They like sex and then they are good at it. So, were they doing it with him? Or he heard from his friends who had the encounter with them? Because it could be one of what I said. Either he has dated some, so he knows what he's talking about, or he has heard it from his friends or people close to him who have dated Kubo girls.
That's what, from my experience, that's what has been the case.
Okay.
Whereby there was, I don't want to mention him, but there was a certain girl in our school, in my former school, who was quite famous for her sexual, yes. And she was a Probo. Yes, and a roommate of mine was also a Probo guy who was quite the playboy. So in a way, I think they capitalize on their physical features. They are quite beautiful, really. They have voluptuous bodies and stuff like that. And you know, they capitalize on that and they use it to their advantage. And so to some, it may seem like the curse is working. I don't entirely believe in the curse.
Every single time. I just 2 days ago cracking an egg. You say something, cut a chicken's head. Come on.
And every time you go to an Ewe man's house, there's some black and red something tied somewhere, and nobody wants to play with the number 9. If you know how to play, that's if he says he's going to his village, then you start shaking.
And nobody wants to mess with the oldest. If you go to an Ewe village, like in the Walter region, nobody wants to mess with the oldest man in that region. You see him, you go to the left or go to the right. You don't approach him, you don't look in his eyes.
Cliche. It's not a cliche.
It is.
Even he's saying it's just a cliche means like
It's just a cliche, yeah. It's just a cliche. It's a cliche.
I have a lot of Ewe friends. I have this lady friend that, casual talk, she just be like, hey, I'm calling the talk with my family. I'll sit on our family broom and I'll come and visit you. It's a joke and everything. I get it. I know she's not serious about it. But they take pride in it. I think, for me, I don't even think it's a bad thing. What other tribes, other people meant to ridicule them or to paint them black, they now wear it with pride. So we like black magic. That's okay. We have it. I'll scare you with it. Personally, I think the Northerners are more powerful than the Ewe.
they are very confident about it. Like it gives them this kind of, I don't know, kind of bragging rights. And
Sure.
I've been to a shrine festival before and they are so proud, like when they are talking about it, you see,
Yeah.
they mention the name with some kind of, they even told me to leave my camera on the street and go to wherever I was going to come. Nobody will pick it.
It's true.
The moment I mention the name, hey, they weren't even there.
I know, right? There was the things they can do.
Okay, so I don't really know many LS, but I think when it comes to black magic, every tribe in Ghana, even in Africa, we believe in black magic. But then when it comes to Ghana, the tribes that we normally do associate black magic with are the LS. But then for me to actually say that it is a fact. I can't because I don't know. But then they really do take pride in their in their black magic, just like I think that every other tribe does too. Because when they go to a family house of every tribe in the country, like when I say a family house, I don't mean by nuclear family. I mean like way extended family house, like the family house where everybody came out from. You can find something like that there. Yeah.
As a northern man, it's like almost instant. And sometimes it's even benign if there's anything like that. But you know the person does not really mean it, but then they do say something offensive or do something offensive, and then when you want to talk about it, they say, "Oh, but you people, that's how you people are, or that's how you people are like." Is that not how your people are? There are no trees there. Meanwhile, he's never crossed the border to this place. Anyway, but it's just something that I've grown up to I think learn to ignore, because I know most of it comes from a place of ignorance. They don't know.
Jokes about promiscuity. I mean, sometimes you meet some people and some think it's the smartest opening line. Like, oh, hello, hi. Sometimes I use my middle name, Amateko. So I say, well, Amateko. Oh, hi. Are you Ghana? No, I'm Kobo. Oh, is it true? I'm not checkers. You like, okay. And I don't think that's discrimination. Initially, I used to get offended a lot, but like, I'm not looking for what you think. What you say, whatever you're thinking is true. Whatever you're thinking is true. Then we move. So yeah, but I've never been discriminated against. No.
I have. In terms of when I came to Accra first, I wanted to rent a room, and I was looking around, Pukwasi and the places where the rent is cheap. And wherever I went, the first question that popped up was, "What tribe are you?" Mm-hmm. Yes, it's true. I'm not even kidding. And when you mention your name, they'll be like, "Okay, what's your name, Derek? Okay, what tribe are you?" Then you'll be like, "I'm Ashanti." They was like, Then they will talk in their local language to another person. Then the person will say, "No.
There's no room."
So they will have to, refuse you the room or whatever.
It's fortunate or unfortunate.
I think that what he said is some people have been through it, especially when you leave where you are comfortable, where you stay, where you live, or let's say you leave your region to a different region. That is how people normally behave when they know that you are not a native of that town or you are not from that region. So yeah, have I ever been discriminated because of my tribe? I've not. And then even if that has happened to me before, look, I'm someone, I don't really, there are some stuff that I don't really pay attention to. I don't really care when somebody says it. So maybe it might look like I was being discriminated, but I didn't see it that way. And then besides, a lot of people see me and then they go like, the first question that they do ask me is, am I an Ewe? I'm like, wait, what about me makes me look like an Ewe? Yeah, that is the first question that anybody who meets me for the first time asks, like, oh yeah, when you and I'm like, Nabi, mean to me, I'm crazy. What? It's funny. It's funny because guys, leave me in the comment section. Do I look like an Ewe? And what about me looks like an Ewe? Leave the complexion out, leave the haircut out, and then state something else.
I don't really have any experience with discrimination because many a times where I find myself, it's Ashanti's accounts, not because I want to, but because it's just there. But I realize that with the Northness, with the LS, with people that come from places that you don't really know of or you've not really heard of.
Yeah, I have.
Never.
I have. I mean, that's one time I talking to someone and person got to find out I'm gone, and the interest and all that the person was supposed to do for me just went off like that because of my tribe, where I'm coming from. So sometimes I find it difficult telling people my tribe.
I don't find it difficult. Like when
I think this is from a place of what, feeling like hiding where you come from, feeling like hiding your tribe, especially when you are interested in a lady, or you are looking for a job or something. Because most of the time, not all the time, but then most of the time, if you go looking for a job, people, the job owners, they are particularly interested in in where you come from, because even if they haven't met people like that, from what they've heard growing up, they associate whatever it is that they heard growing up to that particular person, because the person is from this kind of tribe. And then growing up, even with our families, we've heard a lot about other tribes. We've heard a lot about other tribes, and then we've seen, I mean, somebody, just one person from a tribe could do something to you which you will never forget, and then you kind of associate it to everybody from that tribe, and then it kind of confirm to you that whatever people say about this tribe, it is actually true. But then, yeah, I think that, yeah, a lot of people do hide. But I mean, what's the purpose of hiding where you come from? I mean, if you are looking for a job, or if you're interested in somebody, Anya, it's going to come out that you are actually from this tribe. So from the onset, you just have to let the person, if you are interested in a lady, and then you just have to know what the lady thinks about your tribe. And then the lady lets you know what you think about the tribe, is going to let you know what her family or the people that she has been with think about the tribe. Because about this tribe is this tribe is that, these people are like this, these people are like that. Yes, it is true. Some have actually met people who are like this from this tribe. I don't know, the impression that they got is Shomuchim, which has translated to other people from the same tribe. But everyone is just hearsay. We've just heard about it, but then we don't actually know, or neither have we met people who are actually like that. So, but I must say, don't hide where you come from. Be proud of where you are coming from, even in the darkest time. Just be proud of where you are coming from. Hiding it wouldn't do any good. Just for the short while, maybe it might do a good, but then in the long run, people are going to find out, and then I feel now you're coming to know what. Tell the truth or tell another lie to cover that lie.
I tell people I'm a fancy, they get more interested. Like fancy girls, I've heard they are good cooks. Look how good, like their interest rather grows. So I don't really
wish I could say,
I tell it proudly.
Say the same for my tribe. I say I'm Ghanaian. Someone. You guys are too loud. You're too vulgar. You're too this. Yeah.
I also think so. Like I'm dying. I'm already crazy.
Well, so again, I think it's something many people of northern descent can identify with, because if you go through our history of either probably being conquerors or being the conquered, or having to migrate from obviously the poorer parts of the country to come and work in the richer parts of the country, there's always going to be a form of discrimination. So for instance, people meet me, and then after interacting with me for like days or weeks, some have even known me for years, and when they find out that, oh, I'm of northern descent, they're like, you're a northerner. I'm like, what does that even mean? Right? Like, what do you mean by you're a northerner? Because then that sort of changes the entire perspective. You were really relating with me well until you found out I was a northerner. How is that a problem? Right? So sometimes you may feel like, look, I don't need to mention where I'm from, because the point is, I'm Chris, right? Chris the Nagal doesn't really matter in this particular context.
My tribe, we are like, that Akan is one of the largest. So once you tell somebody you're an Akan, which part of Akan, like they want to find out. I've never been discriminated against for being an Akan.
It's true.
Yes, I say my mother like this. She tells you indirectly, but you know it's for you.
Yeah.
And can force it.
My
I before being force it.
Okay, to personally weigh in on this part of my parents wouldn't be happy if I married from another tribe. Growing up, I've never, maybe if it has happened, Misano, without my sense or anything, I've never had this kind of conversation with my parents or my mom. Because when it comes to this stuff of marrying, is y'all know that the mothers are the ones who weigh in 100% on it. So I haven't really have that kind of conversation with my mom about the kind of tribe that I should marry in. Neither has she ever sat me down and then told me that, hey, tribe way there, if you way there, way there, it's a no. She hasn't. I don't know, maybe when it's time for me to get married, that's when she's going to say something about it, but then she hasn't really. So I don't know. Neither has she ever said, say, oh, marry from the tribe that your dad comes from or the tribe that I am in from. She has never done that. Neither have I heard her say that to any of my siblings as well. So yeah, that's it. Like, I don't know if she's one day going to say something about it, but she's never. She's never. She's like, go where you're happy.
Like they're kind of like the third one. So my brother wanted to marry a girl. She was like, can't dear.
should reconsider, but
for me,
it's true. My parents, especially my mom, she would not allow any girl from the area, the Boto region. She's so not fan of. Make sure you don't bring an Ewe woman to this house. I don't know the reason, but
even with that, my mom doesn't like Ashanti men. He said, "Omoya ahomaso."
Yes, we can do that.
I disagree because even now you have families or people who are deeply rooted in whatever belief, and they pass that thought and things onto their offspring, like their young ones, and it still goes on and on. No matter what we do, this thing has been there since.
That is why we have to try and change it, because growing up we all had the same perception. I don't want to play with an elder child, I don't want to associate with a grandchild, but you growing up in this era and you still want to be associating with what your forefathers, and I don't know, then you're not in this generation.
The only time we can change it is when people stop passing that thoughts and stuff onto their young ones. Until then, we can.
Yeah, but I think that is changing because now the cultural marriages are becoming more. People are going to unexpected places. Like, you have the marriages are. So it will change, but it will take time.
Yes, honestly, I don't think it can be eradicated, at least not in an African context, unless we are looking to engage in a large-scale genocide. Because as an African people, we identify strongly with our tribes, our small cultural groups. And it will take a lot of social engineering, which I don't see happening anytime soon, for us to completely eradicate tribalism. We may reduce it to, if you will, safe levels, where it's not as destructive as it can be, but it would always be there. There will always be that element of, I'm from here and these are my people. Unless we decide to kill off like half of our population, I think.
If our generation is actually going to do that, I think unconsciously we are invested into doing that. Because if you're going to raise up your child, if I'm going to raise up my son or my daughter, I'm not going to be pushing into her head that you are this particular tribe. Yes, you should know you're from this particular tribe, you should be proud of it, but it shouldn't be to a point where you demean another tribe.
So that if we all accept each other's tribe and love each other as ourselves, we can eradicate it. Like how my mom said, Asante Foye Ahomaswo. She just needs someone to educate her more that there are people who are Shanties who are not like that. So it can be eradicated.
Yeah, and it's all about creating awareness and proper education.
Okay, so can tribalism be eradicated? Honestly, all the points that those who said they disagree, voiced out, I agree with them. I also agree with the points that those who said they do agree that it can be eradicated, tribalism can be eradicated. I also do agree with them. But can tribalism be eradicated? No. At least not now. At least not in my generation. It cannot be eradicated. Yes, there are, these cultural marriages now. People are getting married to, different tribes and all. Yes, people are doing that, but that tribalism thing, it is still there. It is going to be there for a very long time. It was there. It's just like when you are a black person and then you go outside of your continent or you go outside of your country to a place full of people other than, who are other than your skin, your complexion. It's just like how they behave. It's just like these people in Europe countries have been battling with this racism. And yes, people have been fighting this thing for a very long time. People are still fighting it with in other countries. These countries, these European countries, the American country, these countries that you can find other people from other race there. People have been fighting against it, but it's like tribalism here in Ghana. We call it tribalism, but then outside is you don't know what they call it. So I don't think it can be eradicated. At least not now. At least not with my generation. Because yes, maybe it depends on this generation and then the generation after my generation. We have different thinking. We have different, the way my generation is thinking is so different from the way my parents generation thought. And even if they put that kind of thoughts in our head, their thoughts in our head, we still see now that we have technology, we have social media, we have other stuff. It's like our scope has broadened. So something that we were told when we were growing up, now we don't really agree with them in a way. So yes, maybe from we having kids, telling our kids that this thing called tribalism is wrong, putting it in the minds of our children that they shouldn't be tribalistic, they shouldn't be that way. But still there are a lot of people who are going to tell their kids say, hey, tribe radiant is a no, hey, this tribe there is a no. So yes, it can be eradicated, but not now. Maybe in the far away future. But now, no way. When you go on social media, you have this, there's always this thing of Asante or account popping up on Twitter, and then people saying Asantes are this, Asantes are that. Most of the time is the Asantes that keep on, or their kind of keeps on popping up on Twitter when it comes to people talking about tribes and other stuff. So if with my generation and the generation, after mine, people talking about this tribes, Asantes are this tribe is that, how can it be eradicated? It's on social media. It will always be on social media. So even if you as a parent instill it in your child that your child shouldn't be tribalistic, your child is going to find himself on social media where people are being tribalist. I don't know if I said it the right way. They are being that way towards other tribes. So how in God's name is it going to be ever eradicated? How? So yes, this is it. Let me know what you think about the questions. I'm very interested in can tribalism be eradicated? Let me leave In Ghana, let me say in Ghana, yes, because it is more here. I haven't been to other places of the continent, so in Ghana can it be eradicated? And then it also, yes, just as this person, no, one of the guys said, it is based off of being ignorant. A lot of people, a lot of Ghanaians, we are ignorant. We are ignorant to some things. We don't learn from other tribes. We don't learn from other stuff. We are all, our mindset is based on yedie. So what yedie no produced when we were growing up, that is what it is still here. Often not on social media, especially on Twitter, you see somebody, post images of foods and then they're like, I will never eat this kind of food, or what food is this, or what is this? And I'm like, wait, you've never tasted it, you've never been to the tribe or where this food is coming from. So how can you say that you will, like, with the way the person posts is like, I said, Edeni, you get what I'm saying? So you've never been there before. How can you put something like this out there? The way not makes tribalism isn't just about, oh, or your fancy, or your already, or your not. These things all constitute tribalism. It's just that you're doing now or oh, you say. That's it. So I'm like, you've never been to that place before, you've never tasted the food before. So how can you just stand there, post this on social media that's a Jane, like a Johnny Bainey? So yes, guys, this is my take. I don't know when it comes to tribalism and then you start talking about it, you have a lot to talk about. But then this video wasn't supposed to be this long, like 34 minutes. Well, this video wasn't supposed to be long, but see how I'm talking. So yes, I'm just going to end it here. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Let me know what you guys think about this whole tribalism, this crap. Let me know that in the comment section, and I will see you guys some other time. And also make sure to find happiness within yourself, like be happy, and yeah, see you guys some other time.